Welcome to the Marxist Perspective, and it's my great honor to talk about somebody that, look at that, it's Eugene Debs. It's somebody that means a lot to me, so must mean a lot to me. I have this wonderful blown up photograph of him in that quote there. While there is a lower class, I am in it, and while there is a criminal element, I am of it, and while there is a soul in prison, I am not free. Eugene Debs. Now, Mr. Debs ran for president of the United States 4 times for the Socialist Party candidate. And in 1917, when Congress passed the Espionage Act, they made it illegal for citizens to use disloyal language against the government or its wartime policies. Oh, I think they'd love that nowadays. So on June 18th, 1918, Debs purposefully defied this law, giving a speech to a bunch of workers at a rally in Ohio. He was promptly arrested by deputy sheriffs. He was put in jail for this speech. And I'm going to read this speech to you right now. And Sam Johnson declared that patriotism is the last refuge of the scoundrel. He must have had the Wall Street gentry in mind, or at least their prototypes. For in every age, it has been the tyrant, the oppressor, and the exploiter who has wrapped himself in the cloak of patriotism or religion, or both to decree and overawe the people. They would have you believe that the Socialist Party consists in the main of disloyalists and traitors. It is true in a sense, not to all to their discredit. We frankly admit that we are disloyalists and traitors to the real traitors of this nation, to the gang that on the Pacific coast are trying to hang Tom Mooney and Warren Billings in spite of their well-known innocence and the protest of practically the whole civilized world. Every solitary one of these aristocratic conspirators and would-be murderers claims to be an arch-patriot. Every one of them insists that the war is being waged to make the world safe for democracy. What humbug, what rot, what false pretense. These autocrats, these tyrants, these red-handed robbers and murderers, the patriots. While the men who have the courage to stand face to face with them speak the truth and fight for their exploited victims, they are the disloyalists and traitors. If this be true, I want to take my place side by side with the traitors in this fight. Max Eastman has been indicted and his paper, The Masses, suppressed, just as the papers from which I have been connected have all been suppressed. What a wonderful compliment they pay us. They're afraid that we may mislead and contaminate you. You are their wards, they are your guardians, and they know what is best for you to read and hear and know. They're bound to see to it that our vicious doctrines do not reach your ears, and so in our great democracy, under our free institutions, they flatter our press by suppression, and they ignorantly imagine that they have silenced revolutionary propaganda in the United States. What an awful mistake they make. For our benefit, as a matter of justice to them, we should respond with resolutions of thanks and gratitude. Thousands of people who had never before heard of our paper are now inquiring for and insisting upon seeing papers. They succeeded only in arousing curiosity in our literature and propaganda. And woe to him who reads socialist literature from curiosity. He is surely a goner. I have known 1,000 experiments, but never one that failed. Wars throughout history have been waged for conquest and plunder in the Middle Ages, when the feudal lords who inhabited the castles, whose towers may still be seen along the Rhine, concluded to enlarge their domains. To increase their power, their prestige, and their wealth, they declared war upon one another. But they themselves did not go to war any more than the modern feudal lords. The barons of Wall Street go to war. The feudal barons of the Middle Ages, the economic predecessors of the capitalists of our day, declared all wars, and their miserable serfs fought all the battles. The poor, ignorant serfs have been taught to revere the masters, to believe that when their masters declared war upon one another, it was their patriotic duty to fall upon one another and cut one another's throats for the profit and glory of the lords and barons who held them in such high contempt. Whew! And that is war in a nutshell. The master class has always declared the wars. The subject class has always fought the battles. The master class has had all to gain and nothing to lose, while the subject class has had nothing to gain and all to lose, especially their lives. They have always taught and trained you to believe it to be your patriotic duty to go to war and to have yourselves slaughtered at their command. But in all the history of the world, you, the people, have never had a voice in declaring war, and strange as it certainly appears, no war by any nation in any age has ever been declared by the people. And here, let me emphasize the fact, and it cannot be repeated too often from the working class who fight all the battles, the working class who make the supreme sacrifices, the working class who freely shed their blood and furnish the corpses, have never yet had a voice in either declaring war nor making peace. It's the ruling class that invariably does both. They alone declare war and they alone make peace. Yours not to reason why, yours but to do and die. That is their motto, and we object to the part of the awakening workers of this nation. If war is right, let it be declared by the people. You who have your lives to lose, you who have all others, have all the right to decide the momentous issue of war or peace. Eugene Victor Debs.